Okay, let's talk about one of the most maddening problems you can run into with a solar setup. Everything looks like it's hooked up right, the sun is out, but for some reason, your batteries just aren't charging. We're going to dig in and find the hidden reason why.
You know the feeling, right? You grab your multimeter, you put it on the panels, and hey, the voltage looks perfect. The sun is shining bright. But nothing, absolutely nothing is getting to your batteries. It feels like a total mystery. Well, here's the secret. The problem usually isn't with the big, expensive parts like your panels or your charge controller. Nope. The real culprit is almost always hiding in the one place most people never think to look, deep inside the wiring itself.
So to crack this case, we have to start with one absolutely critical clue, and it's this. You have to understand that voltage is not the same thing as power. Getting that difference is the key to unlocking this whole thing. This slide really breaks it down. Your multimeter, it's great at showing you voltage, which you can think of as electrical pressure. It's kind of like the pressure in a garden hose with the nozzle shut off. The potential's there, but nothing's actually moving. Power, on the other hand, is what your battery actually needs. And to get power, you need both voltage and current, which is the actual flow of energy. And it all boils down to this fundamental formula right here. Power equals voltage times current. This is so important because if your current is zero, it literally doesn't matter how high your voltage is. Your power is still going to be zero. No current, no charge. It's really that simple. So, the big question is, what's stopping the current? Well, meet the villain of our story, electrical resistance. The best analogy is a bottleneck in traffic or a nasty clog in a pipe. You can have all the pressure in the world, but that clog is going to stop the flow dead in its tracks. In our solar system, high resistance does the exact same thing. It chokes off the current and kills the power long before it can get to your batteries.
All right, so where is this sneaky resistance actually coming from? Let's go on a hunt and unmask the usual suspects. These are the most common hidden faults in your wiring that are secretly killing all your power.
First up, and honestly, the most common one I see, is a loose or just badly crimped connector. We're talking about things like your MC4 connectors on the panels or those ring terminals on your battery lugs. From the outside, they can look totally fine, totally secure, but inside, if that metal-on-metal connection isn't perfect, you get a microscopic air gap, and that tiny gap acts like a massive roadblock to electricity.
So how do you know if you have one of these bad connections? Well, there are some telltale signs. You might see your system start charging and then just stop. Or maybe the current is jumping all over the place. But the biggest red flag of all is heat. If you touch your connection and it feels warm or even hot, that is a dead giveaway you have a serious high-resistance problem. That heat is your power literally burning away, and it's a huge fire hazard.
Our second culprit is using wire that's just too small for the job. Undersized wiring. Think about it like trying to drain an entire swimming pool through a tiny little drinking straw. It just can't handle the flow. It creates a massive amount of resistance, and it just chokes everything off.
And here's why that's such a killer for solar systems. All that resistance in the skinny wire causes something called voltage drop. The voltage literally gets weaker as it travels down the wire. Now, if that voltage drops too much by the time it reaches your charge controller, it can fall below what the batteries need to charge. See, your MPPT controller needs a panel voltage to be a few volts higher than the battery voltage to do its job. If it loses that margin because of voltage drop, it just gives up and stops charging altogether.
And next we have another silent enemy, corrosion. This is a huge deal, especially if your setup is outdoors or in a damp place. You can get this super thin, sometimes almost invisible layer of corrosion on battery terminals or cable lugs. And you wouldn't believe how much resistance that can add, slowly but surely strangling your system's performance until, one day, it just seems to quit.
You can think of this table as your diagnostic cheat sheet. It's super helpful. If your charging is on again, off again, and you feel heat, your prime suspect is a loose crimp. If you're just getting really low power and a big voltage drop, you got to check your wire size. Seeing your performance slowly get worse over months, that screams corrosion. And a faulty breaker? That's the tricky one that might only fail when you put a load on it. Each problem really does leave its own little trail of breadcrumbs.
Okay, so we know who the bad guys are. Now, it's time for you to become the detective. This next part is all about your toolkit, a step-by-step guide to go hunt down and find that hidden resistance in your own system.
Here's your simple 3-step game plan. First, you're going to measure. Check the voltage right at the panels, then at the input of your charge controller, and finally at the battery terminals. If you see a big drop between any of those points, you've found a major clue. Second, you inspect.
With the system safely powered down, of course, get in there and physically check things. Wiggle every single connection. Look for any discoloration, that's a sign of heat, and carefully feel for any hot spots. And third, and this is the most important test of all, you have to test it under load. This is the big one. A bad connection can look totally fine when no current is flowing, but the second you try to pull power through it, that's when it'll fail and reveal itself.
Okay, let's wrap all this up with the final verdicts from our investigation. And, even more importantly, a critical safety warning that you absolutely cannot afford to ignore.
So here it is, the bottom line, the big takeaway. If your solar system has voltage, but it refuses to charge, you need to change your entire mindset. Stop looking for voltage. Start hunting for resistance. That's where the real problem is.
And that brings us to the single most important safety rule in all of this. Heat is not just a sign that your system is inefficient. Heat is the #1 sign of a dangerous failure in progress. It's your system literally screaming at you that something is very, very wrong.
You have to take these signs seriously. If your wires feel warm, if you smell that distinct smell of burning plastic or insulation, if you see discolored connectors or any signs of melting, these are not just problems to fix later. These are immediate warnings of a potential disaster.
And here's exactly why this is so serious. See, unlike the AC power in your house that usually just trips a breaker, a high-resistance fault in a DC system can create what's called a sustained arc. It's basically a tiny, continuous bolt of lightning that just won't stop, and it will start a fire, no question. This is one of the most dangerous situations in any electrical system.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you're troubleshooting your system, stop asking, "Do I have voltage?" and start asking yourself, "Where is my power disappearing?" Because chances are the answer is hiding somewhere in your wiring. And now you know exactly how to go find it.